What's good, Stopde Nation? Welcome back to another video. Today, it released a whole bunch of chemistry things. So there are a whole bunch of different facts about how players actually play. So we're gonna talk about those. We're gonna talk about something too that's, I don't know, been kind of on my mind a little bit with a lot of these things going on. If you follow me on Twitter, you know that we've kind of been not 100% sure how much I want to keep making FIFA Mobile videos. I still love the game. I think that, I love aspects of the game. I love the head-to-head mode, and anything that goes around with the head-to-head mode, I'm in love with. Except for yesterday, and also this in general, the cup thing. If you go into here and you look at the way the cups work, if we look at our match history, we made it all the way to 699,500 fans. And then we lost 2 matches in a row and lost 20,000 fans, and I'm 20,000 fans away. But when I win a match, I get 7,900 fans, because it kind of favors camping. It favors you're playing a whole bunch of teams that have 100,000 less fans, but they may be an 88 overall with 120 chemistry or whatever. So it's still as hard of a match as the ones before, but you end up losing so many more fans. And I wish it was more of a point-based system. If you win a game, you get the points, whatever that happens to be. Other than that, I do enjoy the game. I love the team hero program. I love the grindability of it. I like the scouting events. I'm not a huge fan of the campaign. It's kind of boring and repetitive, and if I compare that to what I'm doing at the head-to-head, I'd rather just do the head-to-head. I hate Team of the Week. I'm not a fan of Team of the Week. I like the fact now that they're auctionable. And I like the fact, actually, I shouldn't say I hate all of Team of the Week. I like the fact that you can go in and you can get the daily rewards and you get those packs and you get those players. I don't like the pack-based part of this. It would be nice if there was some coin pack, or even if when you open the 500 FIFA points pack, you could get some Team of the Week tokens to get that guaranteed player. So there are elements of it that are okay, but I'm not a huge fan of that Team of the Week side of it. It'll be interesting too once we get to new events and stuff, different things that happen with there. But I guess I've just been I think part of it is I was stressing to try and make this. I always want to give you all the best content and, the newest content, the latest content, big challenges and all these things, but I feel I'm just over-stressing myself trying to actually, play modes that I'm not enjoying, do things I'm not enjoying with the game, because there are elements of this game I am not a fan of. I don't like Verse Attack. It's you can see I'm at 200,000. As soon as I got enough to unlock head-to-head, I stopped playing Verse Attack. So I feel for now, I don't want to stop FIFA Mobile. I don't want to stop my FIFA Mobile videos. I know a lot of you still love watching them, and I appreciate all the outpouring of support of people who are still wanting to watch me no matter what it was. I do think I want to try a few different things on the channel too, and we might try and put some other things. I want to explore some NHL, some console, more real life challenges, those kind of things, but just not put it full 100% every single day. I don't know, it takes over everything, and this is not a full-time job for me. I don't make nearly enough money to make this a full-time job. It's not like any other industry on YouTube where you can make crazy high CPM. FIFA Mobile is the lowest of low CPM. Whenever you see those things, it's not FIFA Mobile CPM. So it's not enough to it barely is enough in a lot of cases to be more than the FIFA points that I have to put in for a lot of these promos. So that was when I got the free FIFA points, it made it really easy to make the content and make the promos and stuff, because I still actually was putting in. I probably put in $10,000 into this game last year, which is crazy, but that's what it took for these videos, right? So I don't know. I think it's more just making some changes with this, right? And still trying to enjoy making videos and all of these things for it. So I want to try and do the FIFA Mobile videos and make it, but I don't know. Do you also want to look at, doing some other games, doing some NHL? I thought briefly, but it ended up being 5 minutes long of me to start talking, letting you know about sort of everything that's going on with that. But now, I gotta show you the new thing, because I think this is actually really cool. And this is one of those things where I was really excited to actually make a video on this, talk about this, because they came in and they talked about the different characteristics, the attributes, and everything that they got going on with there. So let's look at this. Let's go into the tweet that came out earlier. So if we go into here, FIFA Mobile tweeted out earlier about the characteristics, the attributes, and how all of this affects everything. I think this is really cool. I want to do some gameplay after to sort of show you, because some of these things I have really seen the importance of these characteristics, the different strategies. We'll talk about different strategies and stuff that can be helpful for this as well. We'll do some strategy videos, how to beat head-to-head, how to beat campaign, those kind of things as well in the near future. But basically, so acceleration is how long it takes your player to get to top speed. So acceleration in a way almost becomes more important than top speed, because in most situations, if the defender's on you, they're going to be pulling you, they're going to be jostling with you, and you're not going to be able to get to that top speed. So acceleration becomes very key to that, because your top speed is once you've actually gotten to your top speed and your player's making that run, then they're doing it. But in a lot of cases, you don't have that open space, because there's not a lot of open space on this FIFA Mobile pitch. So acceleration is very important with that one. Aggression is how willing a player is to perform a standing slide tackle. Also, more aggressive players will push and pull the player they're marking. So you see those times when you run down the wing, you got your player, their player, you're running with them. If you're like, spamming on the tackle button, and you'll see them kind of grabbing at them, yeah, you're likely to draw a foul, but if you have someone with more aggression, they're going to be more likely to kind of win those balls as well. So that would be an important stat, to have a high aggression stat on that one, especially on your left back, right back, or your outside center backs if you're playing a 3 at the back formation. Agility, so affects a lot of things for a player. Mostly their dribbling, so higher dribbling, more composure when they're being jostled. So that will allow you to stay more on your feet when they are doing that push and pulling, especially if you notice the situation where you get to the top of the box, right, and you get the shot off as the player's trying to pull you. Some of them players, when they're pulling you, if they have a higher aggression than agility, in a lot of cases, it seems that they will get the ball from you before you can take the shot. But if you have the higher agility, you'll see some players are very strong in this. So my guess is a player like Royce probably has very high agility, because he works very well with that one. Also able to do bicycle kicks, perform skill moves faster. Same thing like if you look at Ibra, when you played with Ibra before, great card because of this sort of fact. Agility for goalkeepers affects the speed in which they can get up after making a save and sets the maximum speed in which they can make the save. Balance, a high balance is basically helping you fight off tackles. So again, very important, that run down the wing when you're going one-on-one with a defender, being able to have high balance. Also very big when you're putting the cross in the middle, high balance, winning corners, winning headers off crosses, which is a huge part with that, the ability to help when you're making turns and all those things. So balance, I would call that a very key component as well to what you have. Ball control, keep the ball close to them when they trap and dribble the ball. High ball control players can also perform special moves like scoop passes, backheel shots, and passes, and bicycle kicks. High ball control players will mistrap the ball less as well. So actually a few times I've seen it where my players, I put in a nice ball to them, but they can't actually control it very well, so that ball control will be helpful in their crossing. Speed and accuracy of a player's cross. The crossing also affects the player's positioning during a cross. And that part is interesting, because you do have that other side where you want them to go positioning after the cross. So crossing, definitely one for that player that you have in the middle, or running down the wing actually, where it kind of at first seemed like just down the wing was where you wanted. You also want it in that middle piece as well. Curve, basically how much you can curve the ball in the shot. So free kicks and finesse shots. So that actually is pretty important, especially on free kicks. You get a lot of curve on those shots. You see some of them, they actually really straight up curve on a free kick, so great for scoring on free kicks. Also, the curve shot when you run to the top of the box and put it in from the top of the 18 can be helpful as well. So that is a big one on there. Dribbling, dribbling makes them dribble better, enables them to take faster touches on the ball and dribbling turns, and gives them the ability to recover from tackles. And that's a big part, because a lot of times that will happen, especially on defense actually. Your players will lose the ball, they'll get in a bad position, the other team will get the ball back, whereas if you recover faster, you can actually be in that position. So a lot of those times when you have those, the ball that just kind of goes into the middle of nowhere, being able to recover faster is going to be a big part of that. Finishing, less error on shots when you take that you're close to the goal. So actually, finishing in my mind is not one of the highest things that I would put on my thing of wanting to build up in this, because a lot of things like doing the curve shots and the finishing, you can kind of adapt that a lot more. I feel like you can just take off on your swiping and stuff to be a little bit better on the finishing with there. Free kick accuracy, heading accuracy, jumping, more likely to favor in taking headers. So you can see we have Diaby in the middle, great at jumping, great at winning headers for us, so that's a big part of it. So goalkeepers will also use it and will allow them to launch themselves further when making a leaping save. So honestly, I think a jumping goalkeeper with high jumping stats is probably one that you want to look to, because they can make some of those bigger saves, especially if people are trying those long shots on you. Might be helpful to have that with a high jumping stat goalkeeper. Long passing, more accurate when passing using lobbed passes. And that part is interesting, actually, the lob pass of it, and better long passing aptitude than dribbling or short passing. And the CPU will look to take lob passes more. Long shots, when you're further away, 28 yards or more, they can use a long shot to determine how much error gets applied to the shot. So again, those bigger shots, when you get to the kind of top of the 18, further out from the, well, 28 yards away, so much further out from the 18, you get the accuracy on that as well. But anyways, marking is the main defensive stat, determines the factors, how well you can mark, the better reaction to opponents dribbling, and will press closer to them with more accuracy. So it seems a lot more on the CPU side, but also helpful with that. Penalties, hopefully you probably won't get a ton of ones where you need that, but I think that is a big part. Like when you swipe it too hard, you don't have to worry about over swiping it. You can just kind of swipe it hard, get it into the corner, and they take a nice shot on that one. Reactions, the ability to correctly read the ball trajectory, allows them the ability to trap quickly, and sun balls helps two-player headers. So again, another thing that's going to help in that header. So good reactions, good jumping, and good crossing can help you win the headers in that one. So short passing, high short passing means the player can deliver accurate ground passes to their teammate and let the player launch passes faster. So again, the passing attribute kind of works as you kind of would assume it would. Shot power, the speed of the shot. Don't know if it's 100% needed in terms of some of the things. If I was looking at things, shot power probably wouldn't be my top one, but definitely could be helpful if you're trying to like beat a goalkeeper in that one-on-one position before they can get that jump in there. Sliding tackles, so if you do a lot of sliding tackles, this will help with there. They're going to prefer taking sliding tackles over standing tackles still on the CPU, which actually could be a detriment to it as well. So I don't know that I would actually prefer sliding tackle, because in a lot of cases, the sliding tackle puts your players out of position, especially if your opponent knows how to use their offense and their passes and their quick pass as well. Like if people slide tackle on me, I am very quickly able to just sort of move around them, and then there's no defenders near me to go get the goal. With standing tackle, this is the one that I think would be much more important, because the standing tackle is a much more effective defensive move, at least at this point in the game. Strength, winning physical battles, as you would think. High strength will push them off the ball easier, and impact the maximum speed you can move while you're in jostling. So it allows you actually to have good strength. If you're using that down the wing run, you can actually use that to your advantage there. Interceptions help you pick off those passes. Vision helps players be more aware of the immediate surroundings and will give them a bonus to short and long passing. Will also make effort to close balls that are loose and allow them to be more accurate through passes. So very big part of their accurate through passes. That is so huge. So huge, because through passes are such a big part of that head-to-head game, so that is a big one there. Volleys attribute will help you take the player more accurate shots when the ball is bouncing, and will help the players apply more spin to volley shots. Goalkeeper diving, goalkeeper handing, goalkeeper kicking, and goalkeeper positioning reflexes. So all those ones affecting basically your goalkeeper stats there. And then the traits. This is interesting because I don't know how many of these are necessarily going to be affected by what you like for CPU and not. Some of them, like inflexibility, they're going to play worse. They're not in their preferred position. So that's a really important one to look at, because a lot of players are nice to play out of position. Like Royce plays great as a striker card, but if he doesn't have inflexibility, or his inflexibility is one of his traits, he's not going to play well in that position. Long throw, you can throw better on long balls, so that's a great player to have taking your throw-ins. Unfortunately, you can't actually choose who takes your throw-in, so that's a little disappointing with that. But power-driven free kick avoids weaker foot, so always use the favored foot, which could then impact them on the amount of time that they get to take that shot. Dives into tackles, going to the ground while telling a tackle, tries to beat the defensive line. This one I find is really nice when you are trying through balls. You can see the players, because they're being kind of controlled by the CPU, getting in that position to take that run, and you can sort of time it to get over the top. So I've actually found that that's a nice one, trying to beat the defensive line. Selfish, holding on to the ball even when teammates are in better position. Argues with officials. I haven't actually seen argues with officials as a trait, nor have I seen anybody argue with officials, but apparently that is a trait. Early crosser, prefer early cross more frequently. Again, that seems more of a CPU thing than a you, because you kind of decide when to cross it. More actually with finesse shot, finesse shooter. Flair, trying bigger moves, trap passes, etc. during a game. Player performs long passes a lot. Long shot taker, long shot distances. Speed dribbler, regularly tries to knock the ball ahead of his opponent and beat him with speed. So that's a big one, because that's a very important one probably for making those runs, so not a bad one to have if you're trying to make those runs down the wing, or you're trying to make those runs through the defense with your striker card's playmaker. Pushes up for corners. Goalkeeper is known for pushing forward and attack to the corner near the end of the game if it's needed. So that actually is kind of helpful helpful thing. I've never seen it happen, but that's kind of a cool trait. Puncher, known to punch the ball, so that way you will give up a lot of corners, but you might be more likely to make a save on some of those. Long throw, power header, so that would actually be a helpful one when you're trying to get the headers, except you obviously want those high other stats to help you with that. Giant throw, I've definitely never seen that one yet. Shooting outside foot shot, that I think can do another one of those ones that's helpful if you're coming in on a corner and getting rid of the ball faster. Swerve passes, acrobatic clearance, fancy pass, stutter penalties. A lot of these ones I haven't actually seen before. Chip penalties causes an AI control player to do chip shots more often than shrink penalties. So I guess if you knew they had that as an attribute, that would be a great thing to try and guess them. And actually, interesting enough, and we'll show you this later, we've actually found a way to predict penalty shots. I'm going to show you our strategy of that. Because you can actually see where they're going to penalty shot, which is kind of cool. Diving headers, driven pass, and goalkeeper, flat kick. And then the physical attributes, obviously height is helpful. They get to the air balls first, and weight is going to be more mass, winning, jostling position, and stuff like that. So those are the different characteristics, everything that they got going on with that. We're going to kind of look at that in game and sort of showcase some of those stats that we see, where we see them as being important, everything like that. Well, let's get back into it. Let's get into the game. So here you can see right here, this Royce card, high vision, high shot power, high ball control, high dribbling, high curve, high agility, high reactions, and this is why this was a really good card, one of my favorite cards to use. So a lot of the stats that we looked at that were helpful for a lot of the things that we do in game, that card works really well for us. So we're going to go in, this is our team that we got right now. We'll do our gameplay with this one as we start into this match. Hopefully we'll play someone with more fans than us so we can actually move closer to that legendary, because I really want to try and end up in legendary 3. Like the first match then that I lose on a video if we don't. So we better hope for some good luck on this one. We got a bit of a lag going on. That's an unfortunate start to this. 89 and 120. And watch how many fans they have. 706. Alright, so that's fair. At least they have more fans than us, so we're not going to lose a ton of fans if they have there. But this is going to be a big match to try and win in this one. So we'll go into the middle. My buttons aren't working perfectly, but that will happen a fair amount. Okay, Royce. Royce sends him through. Nice through ball. And you see he did place it really well. We didn't end up picking it up, but you did see that vision on him does seem to help with that ability to send those through balls, you know, and get into that position here. And then they're making the run down the wing. We need someone to get into that position. And that's still one of the issues, is there's not a lot of good ability for players to switch when you're trying to switch to specific players and stuff like that. But back out to the outside. Here we go. The speed, the acceleration, and again, you can see that is sort of the reason why that speed and that acceleration is not quite as key on there, is that when we tried the acceleration, or when we have the speed, we never really ever got to full speed, because there's always going to be a player there in the way, or you're going to do a move, you're going to do something like that. Oh, come on. How do you not call that a foul? You just like took him straight out right there. There we go, Nacho Monreal. Dybala, bad pass from Dybala. And we pick it up with Royce K. We're going to try this out. He should be able to get a good cross in, actually, according to some of these stats. And he does, and a nice header at the end, but it's going to be a save from the goalkeeper. So strength from the goalkeeper. So Royce actually a good card for getting the crosses in as well, which is interesting there. As we go, one more time. There you go, okay. Here we go. Looking at bringing this in. Crosses this in the middle, header, and there's the goal. So again, you can see that jump. When he was in a good position, he was able to get up, he was able to get that header in. A lot of times, you don't necessarily see that if they're both fighting for it. It seems that it does a lot of times favor the defender, but in some of those sort of 50-50 ball positions, and like better positions for the cross, you will see the stronger player getting it. You'll love Ronaldo too, he's going to win a lot of those balls. But anyways, back on the next one. This can't happen. 68th minute. Oh, they're making a run. Ooh, they put it in. That was lucky. Oh, that was bad. That was a huge error. Huge error there, but Bayring, some great defense. Great defensive card there. Try and get it into... Okay, up to Royce. Ah, he's not going to get there. He's not going to get there in time. I thought he was going to be able to get there in time, but not quite. Ronaldo is going to lose it there. Nice play on defense. And a great run, a perfectly timed through ball into the middle. Royce is going to get there, and what a header on there to put it in. 82nd minute, we're up 2 on this one. So again, player choice is really key to this head-to-head, to this campaign style matches, because you look, we're up against an 89 overall team, and we are right now up on them 2-0, because a lot of it is that idea of the player choice, the player skill and stuff, which is the part I really like about the head-to-head, and the biggest piece that I love about this game. And I hope that a lot more kind of builds on with this game, because this is the part that I'm really enjoying, the part that I like playing. Obviously it gets frustrating at times when you lose a bunch of fans and you're like, you know, I won 10 games in a row, lost 2, and I was almost at the same spot where I started. But other than that, I love this mode. I think that there's so many cool things that can be done with this. You could make tournaments, you can make all of those things once you're able to like kind of play a friend and do that in there. But anyways, let's see what happens in this one, how many fans we gain. So 14,000 fans. We're 1 win away from Legendary. Alright, I think we're replaying the same person too. So a replay of our previous match. Again, it's always risky when you go against these high overall teams because they really could play well against you. That's the unfortunate part too, though. Like a lot of this, you're playing the same person each time, which makes it, it makes it tough because, you know, especially if one, you know, if they're a player that kind of has your number, it makes it tough because you end up losing like a bunch of fans on it. But here we go, in the middle header, nice, decent first effort. Couldn't put that in at the end. No. Okay, see, stuff like that gets frustrating because the players, and I don't know if you notice this because it's like hard, it might be hard to see it, but we pushed the button and it didn't respond to it, and then so then they were able to take it from us and get up first. So that could be the reason why we lose the match. So the reason why we lose the match is basically like not being able to have a button recognize stuff like that. That's where this game does get frustrating in that part, is that like I want to be able to like actually react to the way that we're doing it. But I think again it is like a, was it good? Oh, come on, hit that. Okay, eventually it goes in. Obviously I realize, you know, it's early in it, they're making lots of changes, so I do like that fact. So, you know, I do gotta say that they are trying to make some changes with it, and updating these things. I hope that some of these things are things that definitely get addressed sooner than later, because it does become a frustrating part of these matches when that happens. But anyways, alright, I don't know actually how many fans I have. I hope I have enough that a tie would have done it, but I kind of feel like it's not gonna work out that way. But we'll see what happens. 93. Ugh. 97. We have to do one more match still. Alright, so I think we're just going to leave us 1 win short of Legendary for now. We'll pick that up in later on. But thank you for checking this out and stopping by. It's been a pleasure as always. Stopde.